Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Hey guys, so today we'll just talk about a little bit of the graduation day, so how it was this year, as in July 2021. There were, of course, this is the Guildhall, and then what happened was over there is that students entered through the other side, which is around there, around the corner, and then the guests, they entered through this side. As you can see, people are lining up for whatever events that's happening there for tonight. Yeah, so coming back to the point, in July 2021 there was the graduation, so for both class of 2020 and class of 2021. So in regards to my one, it was on 12th July at 10 a.m, which I unfortunately did not attend. And of course there is a whole piece I wrote which I may share with you guys afterwards. So that was the Guildhall, that's where the actual ceremony takes place. And this is the part where of course the pubs are around, Sainsbury's are around, things like that. So there are two main events you should know of, two main spots you should know of, two locations. First one is the St. Paul's Gym, or St. Paul's Sports Hall they say, and this is the place where the photography takes place. So I'm taking you there right now. And the second spot you should know is Spinnaker Sports Centre, and that's opposite the Student Union, and that's where the gowning takes place. And it's important that these are the two places you should know of in order to make your way there, so that your graduation and the whole process is as efficient as possible, rather than leaving it for last minute. So I'll pause the video, and when I get near St. Paul's I'll resume it. Alright, okay, we're nearly coming to St. Paul's Gym. So this the area, basically. Again, you have St. Andrew's Court here. I think I just had one lecture plus seminar plus a workshop I had there. And then this is usually for like ICP, International College Portsmouth, and the next one is LSI Portsmouth as well, but I do not know what it stands for. And then the building there right across is known as the Mercantile Building, and usually I went there once or twice, very few times, for my Jummah prayer, the Friday prayers. And now across this road, which we will be crossing inshallah, and this is the place where this is the place where the photography took place. Of course I will not be going in, but just from outside I will show you what it was about. Yep, it's clear. Yes. So I was given the responsibility to put up some of the signs saying that there's photography taking place. So it was giving people the consent, if you like. So people who are not comfortable with having their photos taken, so they're made well aware of it. And this was the entrance, and there was like a banner here saying photography, and plus somebody else was standing there with a banner pretty much the whole day, perhaps taking shifts, and saying photography is this way. So this was the place where the photography took place, St. Paul's Gym. But I do not know what's going to happen later on. But of course it was a very painful day, as myself not being part of it, and of course seeing parents coming along in their different multicolored, colorful dresses and enjoying their day. And then in this even in the sports hall as well, there was like a photographer as well, who was quite friendly individual, a Sardarji or a Paji, if you like, a Sikh individual. And we just had a good conversation, and he was just being very nice, and we just had a good conversation, a jovial conversation. And he was just talking about he was asking for a few items, and I just provided him with it. Now we shall go to the Spinnaker Sports Centre now, where the gowning takes place. So I'm just going to walk for a bit and pause the video, and then once I get close to it, I'll show you to what happens there. Thank you. But of course we will not go in there. Right, so we're nearly to the Spinnaker Sports Centre. So right across is the eye clinic, and it's the same building for student union. So a lot of societies used to take place pre-COVID. Now, to be fair, it's just COVID, isn't it? So nothing's the same. Nothing's the same, and to be fair, I don't think nothing will be the same, because the COVID came along and changed everything for good. Right, yes. So this is the Nuffield Centre. This is where the chaplaincy, I used to visit chaplaincy for praying purposes only. Very nice area, very nice, relaxed space. Not many people know of this place, I'm guessing. But it's really good for a cup of tea, coffee. And Spinnaker Sports Centre is next door. And I believe this was the end, the next fire gate, as you can see, this one, the grey door. This was the exit, and this was the exit, and the main entrance was the main entrance for you to go in and collect your gowns. So some students, their gowns were already posted to their home address because they booked their place and tickets before a specific time frame, and then afterwards they were able to have their gowns posted to their house. But if there was any problem, then they could have came here. And the second batch of students, they had to go there manually, physically, to be able to collect their gowns, put on their gowns. And at 7:30 or 7 o'clock p.m, everyone's supposed to give their gowns away. And upon returning their gowns, they would get a bottle of prosecco. But of course, that's something that's alcohol. So if you're somebody who's religious or for personal reasons, if you're somebody who does not consume alcohol, then of course you can ignore taking that. So yeah, this was the place. Two main events, two main places you should know of for graduation purposes. Now for next year, I do not know if this is going to be the same thing. However, it's important that you are well aware of where you're going and where you're going and where you should refer to. And I think the best thing is if you could just call the graduation team or send an email to them and constantly check the graduation webpage in order to find out more information. Yeah, so I think this is pretty much it. But I'll just give you another one brief overview of what happens on graduation day. So let's just say 12th July at 10 a.m. what you're supposed to do now. So you come to the Portsmouth, and if you're someone who has received his or her gown through post, you put them on at home, because they provide you with a lot of information inside the package, probably the leaflet or something like that. And then they will tell you regarding how you should put it on. And if it's well and good, if it fits you, it's very good. If it doesn't fit you, then you can easily come back and swap it with the one that fits you. And then you make your way to the graduation Guildhall, or perhaps if you have a pre-booked session of photography, you have that. If you don't, then you can easily walk into St. Paul's gym and then have your picture taken. So of course that depends on your time. So you should come to Portsmouth, let's just say an hour before your actual graduation. So it's going to buy you time to do all the important necessary items. For example, putting your gowns on, have your pictures taken, or perhaps have your pictures taken afterwards. And then you go into Guildhall with your tickets, e-tickets, and then staff members will be there. They will scan it for you. And then you go into a special room known as studio. I think it's called studio. Yes, the studio. You line up, they take your name, and then you follow a crowd. And then, before you go into studio, you go into the main hall. And then you find yourself there, you find your space, the allocated seat, and then you sit down. And perhaps inside the gallery, someone tells you that you should be coming into studio now in order to line up. And then you line up, and then you follow the line until your turn comes up for the stage, the iconic moment. This year, you had to put your mask on. You had to put your mask on, as well as no handshakes, things like that. Socially distanced, strictly socially distanced, with 2 guest limits. So that was actually very heartbreaking for a lot of students. Also, and then that's it. And then afterwards, the whole ceremony in itself is about like 1 hour, 1 hour, 10 minutes, 1.5 hours. And then you go out, and then perhaps you have your pictures taken if you didn't have enough time before the ceremony. And then the group photography, you know, the iconic one which you see, let's just say, on like websites or magazines, university magazines, when a bunch of students, they're on a staircase, on a step, and then afterwards the photographer says 1 2 3, everyone chucks their hats in the air. That wasn't there too, again due to COVID. It wasn't displayed on screen for first week, and then for the rest of the week it was displayed on screen, which I thought that it's not going to happen, and then this is what happened. And that's it. I think we just take pictures. And I think like 2018 when I finished, what happened was that there was like a murky, and there were like more events taking place, so like drinks, soft drinks, as well as few canopies, things like that, they were there. But of course, like I said, it's always the COVID, isn't it? COVID, and the weather, we weren't really sure. It was cloudy on that day, so this is so that's why, due to that, you kind of really had to take pictures and go. And also, one person actually, he said it very nicely, that this year's graduation is more like a consolation rather than a celebration. So because the university definitely could have went out of its own way to have a proper ceremony for both class of 2020 and 2021 by giving it in 2022, but because I do not think that they are bothered, and they just wanted to get it over done with, get out of the way, so this is what they have done. So definitely they could have done better, but never mind. Whatever happens, happens for good. Okay, thank you very much. Hopefully you found it beneficial. This is more like a video and bit of audio as well. So enjoy. Thank you very much. Bye.